Welcome to another Blue Jackets Drop-In. Bob McElligott along with Jody, Shelley, and today we're joined by Blue Jackets forward Nathan Gerbe as the NHL now has a format in place to return to play at some point this summer. And Nathan, for the last couple of months, you've been sequestered there with the family and with the kids. Follow some of the stuff you're doing there on social media, which is fun. But what's been going on in your life here the last 3 months?
It's been pretty busy, actually. A lot of people complaining about not doing enough, but I feel like I've been more busy doing this. With therapy, I was going between Cleveland, Columbus, a lot of driving and getting on the ice there and healing up from my surgeries. And, in the time being, I'm traveling to see my kids and spending time with them. So I felt like I was pretty busy looking for life to slow down.
Yeah, you mentioned the injury. Because it was so long ago that the Blue Jackets played a game, it's very easy to forget that you were one of those guys that wound up on the injured list right before play stopped. You'd come up from Cleveland because of injuries, but you'd been staying and doing a great job, but you did get hurt right before that. So has this time given you a chance to heal?
It has, yeah. It's been it's funny, yeah. I think I ended up missing 3 games maybe, 3 games for I think around the 3-month injury time frame. So this actually worked out pretty good for me and a lot of guys in our team, seeing Jonesy being back and Bjorky and Cam and all those guys. So it's a good thing, I guess, we all get healthy and I'm sure everyone in the league's in the same boat too, but we're all excited. But this has given me the time to heal and to do things right and to get back because I got injured during the season there and I felt it for a few weeks and just struggled to try to maintain speed and stay in the games and at some point I just couldn't do it anymore.
So have you been able to skate at all?
I have, yeah. I was skating in Columbus, so I was able to be released by the doctors. It would be about 2 weeks ago now. So yeah, I was skating there, and I'll probably head back in the near future to get on the ice again.
So where are you now?
I'm in Traverse City, enjoying the lake and enjoying the family. So up here, it's pretty easy to quarantine up here because we don't go anywhere anyway. So this is our normal quarantine life.
Well, that's great. And the weather's been okay up there?
It's been good, yeah. Last few days been good. We hit a lot of thunderstorms there, but I think Columbus got that too, judging by the pictures I saw from the rain and the floods.
Yeah, they've been hit. And I wanted to ask you because, I've actually found a few hidden talents that I've had. Not talents, but things that I haven't been able to do because I've never had time. Have you found yourself doing things that you're like, wow, I could actually do this now? You have a little more time to do that?
I built a pretty large platform with my dad. I usually don't have time to sit down and take a few days to build something and get everything together. But we built a big platform together. There's a muddy area by the lake here that we built kind of like a bridge over. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, in a normal life, I guess I wouldn't do that. We're so busy with hockey and the kids and training that you don't have too much time to sit down and do that.
No, it's amazing. You look at YouTube and you can do almost anything. And you're right. If you have time and you're sitting there, you're like, well, why don't I try this? It's kind of fun to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And obviously doing it with my dad was fun. You don't get too many projects to do together. But no, it's always fun when you have the time, right? And that's what, is the greatest thing in the world is time. And it also sucks when it goes by too fast.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, Jody, because the other day I was trying to mow and my mower kept stalling out, and that's exactly what I did. I went on YouTube, and before you knew it, I was a small engine repair guy, which I'm not, but I was for that day. Nathan, what's it been like for the kids to have you around? I know they get you in the summertime, but it's been at a different time of year, and of course, there wasn't anything that they could do. They were stuck spending time with you. So what's it been like to be around your 3 young children as much as you have the last couple of months?
Oh, it's been awesome. That's what I'm probably in my happiest moments, is just being with the family and being able to relax with them and enjoy the everyday adventures they take us through with their emotions and their moods. So it's been fun doing that. But, they have a blast. They know I bring a lot of energy to the house. I start a lot of trouble, a lot of chaos, and I also, try to have some fun with them. But it's been great. It's the biggest blessing I think out of all this is being able to spend time with our family. And, I know during the year I didn't get to see him too much. And it's, my daughter's at the age now where she understands, but it hurts her. She always asks me questions saying, how come our family doesn't stay together? We're a family, we should be together. So those are hard questions to answer and tell her why I have to leave and why I have to go to work or or the rink, and so she's understanding. But this has been real nice for all of us.
And the irony to that, I would guess, is that when you do go back to work, if you're able to come back this summer as the plan is, nobody knows what that part of the plan is, right? As far as how much you're going to be able to see your family, or if you're going to get put in that proverbial bubble or whatever.
Yeah, we talked all scenarios, right? I guess all the scenarios that's been thrown out there that we know and that they're thinking about. So my wife and I, we sit down and talk about it all, and because plus we have another baby due in September. So, I think if obviously the season got going, we probably would find it best that we don't have the family with us and wherever we end up playing games. So, it's a lot to handle. 3 young kids and a pregnant wife. I don't want anybody to get sick or, that's just like the last thing I would ever want. So it'd be safe for us to be apart for that time. But it'll be very, very hard for the kids and hard for her and hard for myself. But it's something, we have to do and that she's willing to go through with me.
Wait a minute. It looks like this whole thing has been set up for the Gerbe family. I mean, now they're talking about not starting the season in October. That would give you September with no training camp. You'd actually have time to be there.
That's what I said. Like I got injuries cleared up. I said, well, I'm actually going to be probably home for the birth now before that'd be right in the middle of training camp, I believe. I think she's due September 23rd. So that's like middle of training camp. So yeah, I was like, oh, this is a blessing.
A lot of blessings in this. And I want to even go back to this season, and the situation that you're in right now is because the opportunity you got with the Blue Jackets. I mean, do you look back at this year and think, wow, this has really been a special year for you and your family?
It's been a special year in the sense that, all the work you put in and all the sacrifice that you do as a family. And as you guys know as well in your guys' job, it takes everybody in the family to sacrifice. If I wouldn't be able to do what I do if my wife's not willing to do everything here and handle the kids and do everything, that I don't have to do here, which is huge. So I would never be able to do it without anybody in this house. And it's, you think back at those moments because it's amazing the amount of work that gets put in and you just hope for one opportunity. And if it doesn't come, then I'm pretty satisfied with the work I was able to put in. But when the opportunity came, I wanted to take advantage of it and prove that I could still play to myself and to my family and to my wife.
So now you've gone through rehab, you've been cleared by the doctors. Is this your time to kind of decompress, or are you still training?
I'm still training. No, it's weird. I was talking to someone else about it. I said, I know it's played 70 games, so it's kind of a full season, but it feels weird. Like I'm trying to start to ramp up the training again. And it just feels weird. It's like, man, it doesn't feel right to ramp it up. I'm trying to plan and, to get to a certain point to when the season starts that I'll be ready full throttle with explosiveness and speed. But it feels weird because you did go through a full season kind of, I guess. But yeah, it's hard to ramp it up right now.
Is your dad helping you with your training? I know he's helped you in your past, or you have someone advising you?
Yeah, I have someone advising me. He's his methods are a little more old school. He's straight outside pushing cars and just running miles and miles. So a little different now, but I've learned a lot from that though. And it's funny because when I think of like doing stuff with my kids, I always come back to the way my dad did it with us. And it's funny how that goes full circle.
It's funny that you say that. I had my son doing some of the things my dad had me doing. And I remember hating it much more than my son did. I'm like, well, no, maybe I need to get him a heavier log or something to carry down the driveway.
Oh, that's funny. You got so our house back home where it's heated by a furnace. So that's all we had growing up. All we did was we had a job for 1 week. We all would go out and chop wood and split and carry wood. So mom and dad had wood stacked all winter. And it's funny how much I hated it as a kid. I mean, I would curse it because it was, that's tough work. But now I think back, I'm like, man, that was one of the greatest memories I've had. As the family was out there, my brothers, my dad, we're all doing a job. And like, man, if there's one thing I could carry over to my kids, even though we don't have a furnace to heat the house, I'm definitely going to take them out in the woods and we're going to chop and carry wood and stock up for the winter.
Well, Nathan, when I think about you, I think of the small, speedy guy with a lot of grit on the ice. But ironically, I'd forgotten about this until somebody brought it to my attention the other day. You were someone that was, for I don't know what reason, but mentioned out of the blue on an episode of Law and Order SUV, I guess it would have been a couple of years ago. Did you know about that, or did you know you were going to be mentioned?
No, I have no clue about it until I went on Twitter and saw thousands of mentions about that. And I remember looking at all the clips and I was like, what is this? I don't even understand. Then I watched the full episode but come to find out, I believe one of the producers is from Buffalo. So they were a huge Sabres fan, but I'm not sure how I got on there.
She wanted to name the baby Ty, but he wanted Nathan for Nathan Gerbe.
He leads the Sabres in penalty minutes.
Well, and that was the funniest part of it to me is that there were it was a woman talking about naming a baby, and a guy wanted to name the baby Nathan for the penalty minutes leader of the Buffalo Sabres. It didn't seem right to me, but I guess at the time it was, huh?
I think they called one game, and I was leading the team in penalty minutes. I think it wasn't goals or assists. I'll tell you that.
So, is that you think that might be the extent of your stardom, your television stardom?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's about it right there.
Oh, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Let's get back to your other television stardom. You mentioned earlier that about other guys getting healthy. Have you given yourself any time to think about what it's going to be like to return to play with a full and a healthy lineup and all that competition that's going to go on between all of you to get playing time?
Yeah, I mean, I run through scenarios all the time in my head. I'm at the point now where I'm starting to turn my mind mentally to get ready for a training camp, for a season, for games. So, I'm happy the format's out there, so at least we have something to think about and something to go off of. Knowing that we have Toronto playing for a 5-game series is exciting stuff. But now you can start to wrap your head around the battles within the game, certain players that you want to kind of get off their game. So now you have an opponent that I can start to really, really focus in on. And hey, if I'm not in the lineup, I'm going to be ready for whenever I get called or pushing guys in practice or whatever it's going to be. But hopefully I get the chance to play and show them I'm ready.
Now, if you think about it, this team struggled to get out of the gate. And then when injuries happened, you came up and it seemed like you sparked something. I mean, for a scenario for you to come up from the minors in a situation like that and take full advantage of your opportunity. I mean, you just said you don't know if you're going to be in the lineup, but you understand the impression you made with your team and your coach that you put yourself in a situation to bring whatever you can, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's just, that's all we want, right? I mean, we play this game to try to leave a mark and let people know who you are and to leave an impression and make a hard decision. That's basically all we want to do is not leave it up to me. I feel like I've done my part to show them who I am and how I can play. And when I can skate, I can change a game. I feel like, and just with the grit and the willingness to compete in battle, I think I could be a factor. And I know that. And the last few years, I couldn't stay healthy enough to even do it. So, I couldn't blame anybody but myself. But this year I'm ready, and it's been fun to show them kind of who I am because, I felt bad this organization I don't think has gotten a chance to see me just with how injured I was in the first 2 years. And, now it feels good to just, I'm grateful to be able to show them who I am. And I hope they're, like what they have because, as being injured, you don't want to be injured as a player. You know how that feels. And an organization, trusts you to help their young guys, but I couldn't stay in the lineup for health reasons. But, to be able to come back and help and contribute, and hopefully we can go on a pretty good run here.
I want to touch on that with you because you've played over 400 NHL games. You're an NHL veteran. Not many people have played over 400 NHL games. And do you think back to when you came into the league and the veteran players, because I think it's so valuable, and especially in this locker room, that and understand that role of being that guy that even the veterans need to have around, and that role, and maybe some of the people that have impacted you in your first years. I think it's and don't you think it's a vital part of the longevity and the impact you can make still in the game today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's huge. It's, when I think back to my career, all these older guys and the league was much older back then, as you know. When I was coming in, there was guys that are 39, 40, 41, which you don't see too much anymore. But what those guys taught me on a day-to-day basis was just coming in and doing your work. I try to come in here into the locker room and never let anybody, complain or just, get that negative mindset or attitude, because negativity could just kill an organization and kill a team. So that would just be awful. And so for me, my mentality is always positive. I don't let anything negative creeping around me. I won't let it happen, and I just don't want it to happen to other guys. I don't want to hear it.
Well,
I love
Nathan,
it.
let's wrap it up with this. You mentioned the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know you're going to play them when you do return to play. It's not often that you have like 2 months that you know who you're going to play and get to prepare for that team. Number one, how do you see that matchup? Do you like that matchup between the Blue Jackets and the Leafs? And the second part of it is, are you excited to be playing them? Because that means that this series is going to be talked about a lot. You guys are going to get a lot of publicity before you even drop the puck.
Yeah, I love any series, to be honest with you. I just love the fact that we're talking about getting back to playing. We'll take anybody, right? I mean, for a chance to be where we are, I know we had a playoff spot, but you know, this is the best format they can come up with, and they got a lot of decisions to make. So, you know, we're ready. I'm excited. Toronto, obviously, I've watched a lot of them. You see them on the ice, you play them, and you know, ton of skill, ton of speed. We are a little bit on the opposite side of that. We're more grit and more defense and more detailed, and so I think it's going to be fun matchup, fun to key in on certain players on their team, and you know, the certain guys are high class skill, so you gotta really work to get them off their game and be physical against them. But it's gonna be a fun series. I think you know, I wasn't really thinking about getting Toronto, I guess, when I was running scenarios in my head. So it was a little bit of surprise. I was like, oh, okay, all right, didn't think about that one. But it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, I'm going to leave you with some words that I've never said in my life. You've got to work on the playoff beard because you've got to catch up, man.
I know. I like to keep a pretty clean cut shave. Yeah, I don't grow it too much. The kids don't like it. The young kids will cry if I kiss them with it. They don't like it.
All right, fair enough. Nathan, thanks so much for taking time with us today. You know, it's great to hear that you're better, that you're healed, that you're training and ready to go. And hopefully we're going to see you back here in Columbus really soon to get that season resumed again.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Stay safe.